Hi there, students. Vivid verbs. Quite a while back I was asked to make a video about vivid verbs, and I've been a bit remiss, but I'm going to do it now. Okay, vivid verbs are interesting verbs instead of plain normal verbs. I think this is most easily explained by giving answers. So, to look. You could glance, you could gaze, you could stare, you could gape, you could peer, you could peep, you could study, you could inspect, you could glimpse. So, let me go through that. Let me make it a little bit easier. Imagine the sentence, he looked at me and drank his beer. So, instead of using look, let's use a vivid verb, a verb that has more meaning and gives life and vivacity to your English. So, he glanced at me. A glance is a quick look. He glanced at me and drank his beer. Well, drink is a pretty boring verb as well. So let's try, he glanced at me and swallowed some beer. Ooh. To swallow, yeah, you swallow a liquid. Or you could say to gaze. So he gazed at me, to gaze, to look with a long look, probably lovingly. Okay, and to swill, as in to drink greedily in large quantities. So he gazed at me and swilled his beer. Okay, to stare. To stare is a little bit aggressive, to stare at somebody. If two people are angry and are going to fight, they stare at each other. Okay, and we could use the verb, instead of drink, to sip, to drink just a little bit at a time. So he stared at me and sipped his beer. We could say to gape, to look at in amazement, normally with your mouth open. And we could use the verb to guzzle. To guzzle is like to swill. I had a video on that the other day. To drink greedily in large quantities. It can be to eat as well. So he gaped at me and guzzled his beer. Yeah? So to gape, to look at in amazement. Or to peer. To peer is to look with difficulty. Maybe if I take my glasses off, I'm going to have to peer. And maybe we could use the verb to imbibe, to absorb, to drink slowly. So he peered at me and imbibed his beer, drank it slowly and with contemplation. Okay? I'm peering and I'm imbibing my beer. I'm drinking it very slowly and with pleasure. To study, to look at all the details of. And we could use the verb to drain, to drink all of. So he studied me and drained his beer, drank it all in one. Or we could say he peeped at me. To peep is normally to look through something, to have a little look, probably unobserved. So maybe he's at a distance. And we could use the verb to slurp. Okay, to slurp is like to guzzle or to swill, but making that slurping noise. Slurp is onomatopoeia. You shouldn't slurp your soup. Okay, so let's see, yeah. He peered at me and his beer. Okay, this gives you the idea of vivid verbs, yeah? Okay? Don't use boring words like look, drink, eat, run, arrive. Try and use something more interesting. And using more interesting verbs will make your English sound an awful lot better. It will improve your English radically. So just try and think of alternative verbs for the simple verbs. Yeah? So not just look, to glance, to gaze, to stare, to gape, to peer. Or to drink, no. To swallow, to swill, to quaff, to guzzle, to sip, to swig. Okay, to imbibe. There are lots and lots and lots of words there. Okay, so try using vivid verbs. They will really help your English. So, if you enjoyed the video, if you found satisfaction in it, subscribe to my channel. Give the video a rating, a thumbs up, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Vivid verbs. Use them.